Tonight on Joy News Prime, Attorney General says Ashimoto School has been asked to admit the two Rastafarian students whose enrollment has been in contention for weeks now, even as it appeals the ruling by the Human Rights Court.
Saying that the decision is pre or is hinged on human rights. It implies that adherence to a certain lifestyle or custom or culture of a certain person perhaps will have to prevail over the relevant rules and regulations applicable in schools.
Ashanti Region Police arrest 4 suspected armed robbers, it says, were behind a number of robberies in the region, including one in which a road engineer was killed.
Police Command has arrested 4 suspected armed robbers, one Emmanuel Entry, 40 years, now deceased, and an engineer with the shop construction was robbed of his Toyota Prado vehicle and was shot in the process by 3 armed men. Investigation so far has revealed that the above-named suspects perpetrated that crime.
They also say they are closing in on the robbers who attacked a shop on Tuesday and made away with 140,000 cedis. In the very latest on that robbery, a victim who sustained gunshot wounds has died.
Police is picking some reliable leads that will help in apprehending the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
Transport fares to go up by 13% effective Saturday, June 5. We'll be bringing you some reactions. Government says it is prosecuting 5 different cases involving persons found to be engaged in illegal mining, including one against some persons who claim to be national security operatives. In business, President Akufo-Addo charges telecom giant MTN to explore opportunities for Ghanaian young entrepreneurs in the tech space as the telecoms giant marks 25 years of operating in Ghana.
I'm charging MTN to invest also in promoting startups, reducing the gender digital divide, and stimulating the vibrant technology hub space.
And in some other news, rescuers are yet to find any survivors or bodies in the mine pit that got flooded at Gbani.
As of now, the assumption is that there are missing persons. But to be able to determine whether it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, the rescue operation, when it is finished, will be able to confirm that.
My name is Israel, and Joy News Prime is coming to you live from our Founder Studios at Kokomlimli here in Accra on your digital terrestrial TV, because we're free to, and also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. This is a home of independent, fearless, credible, and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in. 2 Rastafarian students whose admission to Ashimoto School has been in contention for weeks now have been told they could report to the school Thursday and expect to be enrolled. It follows the intervention of the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, who says he has advised the school to take the students in. Tyrone Iris Maigua and Oheneba Kweku Nkrabia were denied enrollment in March this year in a case that sparked a national debate in a clash between religious rights and the right to education versus the school's insistence on the enforcement of its rules and regulations. The Human Rights Division of the High Court in its ruling on Monday said the fundamental human rights of the 2 students cannot be limited by the school rules in question and ordered the school to admit the 2. The Ashimoto School Board subsequently filed a stay of execution pending an appeal of the ruling. But in an exclusive interview with Evans Spencer, Attorney General Godfrey Dame says he has advised the school to withdraw the stay of execution even as it fights to overturn the ruling.
That ought to be respected or encouraged in schools. There is also the right to exercise the person's culture. You cannot take away from the person the right to live his life in the one language he desires. The long-standing rules and regulations to recognize the enforced by schools in the country may have to be reformed. It may open the floodgates to the acceptance of various lifestyles by schools to the extent that the decision is pre or is hinged on human rights. It implies that adherence to a certain lifestyle or custom or culture of a certain person perhaps will have to prevail over the relevant rules and regulations applicable in schools throughout the country. That is what I'm saying has a very far-reaching implication. Therefore, such a decision you cannot just leave it at the High Court. After all, this decision is not binding on the High Court itself. It's not binding on the High Court differently constituted. So you can have another High Court constituted by a different justice taking a different view of the matter. They only know which way to go. So it can lead to uncertainty, and I think that there's a need clearly to have a clear, definitive pronouncement on the matter, the extent to which certain practices claim to be religious or claim to be even cultural or to be recognized and accepted in schools. So it's not just a matter of Rastafarians being permitted to wear locks or not. What about the traditionalists who also want to exist, that his culture enjoins him to walk barefooted? What about the traditionalists who also insist that, according with the tenets of this custom, he's supposed to just wrap a cloth around his waist, even if the person is male? And for that matter, the school cannot restrict the manner in which it dresses. It really have implications for whether school uniforms ought to be enforced. Based on record, that is a shame. That has far-reaching implications. And there are many people who are also opposed to bullying.
So the entire interview is going to be aired on PM Express. That's right after the bulletin, in just about 2 hours. But Ashimoto School in the last hour has issued a statement confirming the withdrawal of the stay of execution in the case of the 2 Rastafarian students. And it reads, revised statement by Ashimoto School Board. Further to our statement issued on June 1, 2021 on the subject of 2 Rastafarian applicants, we have been in consultation with other relevant stakeholders to seek the best ways forward, taking into account the interest of all parties. While the board remains committed to the appeal against the High Court ruling, it will withdraw the application for a stay of execution pending the determination of the appeal by a higher court. We have accordingly advised our legal counsel in this respect. Now, in its latest update on the fight against illegal mining, government says it is currently prosecuting 5 different cases involving persons found to be engaged in the illicit trade. Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah noted the 5 cases include one involving some persons who claim to be national security operatives who were arrested in the Kede forest engaged in illegal mining, and another involving some Chinese illegal miners and their Ghanaian accomplices. According to the Information Minister, the cases are at different levels in court, with some of the arrested persons on remand.
The first is the Republic versus George Ashanti and 31 others. These are the persons who initially, the reports that came out were that some national security people have been arrested doing mining elsewhere. It turns out they are not national security persons. The accused persons on the 11th of May 2021 were arraigned before the Koforidua Circuit Court B on provisional charges, namely 2 counts of conspiracy to commit crime, that's reconnaissance for minerals, and reconnaissance for minerals without lawful authority. The accused persons were arrested by the town folk themselves, as you remember. They had dug deep, hundreds of meters into the ground, and they were actually conducting some mining activities there without lawful authority. They were remanded into police custody for further investigations. The case has been adjourned to the 8th of June 2021 with the accused person still in custody. In the meantime, the CID has taken over the investigations. They visited the crime scene at Akinting. Sand and some substances suspected to be gold were found and seized. The substances have been sent to the PMMC for testing, and the other state investigative authorities are assisting them while the prosecution ongoes. So that is the case of George Ashanti and 31 others, the Republic versus George Ashanti and 31 others. There's the Republic versus Yang Mauji. Arrest was made on the 15th of May by the Operation Halt team. Investigations are also ongoing to locate some suspected accomplices, Yang Kesi and one Nana Fianco, and prosecutions will be in accordance. There's a Republic versus Wei Ganming and another. This case involves a Chinese national arrested from Atioku in the Memphis West near Takwa. The 2 Chinese nationals were arraigned before an Accra Circuit Court for the offense of mining without authority or without license. They've been remanded to appear on the 2nd of June 2021. I think that's today. So they'll be appearing in court today after initially being remanded. The matter has been assigned to the CID. Bail has initially been denied the accused persons, and further investigations continue, and prosecution will also continue in accordance. There's also the Republic versus Yang Hua and 2 others. In this case, 2 Chinese nationals and a Ghanaian who were illegally mining were arrested from Inchi in the western region. They were arraigned before the Circuit Court in Accra on the 12th of May 2021 for the offense of mining without license.
Minister for Defense Dominic Nitu will also announce that 592 items, including 24 excavators, 341 chamfang machines, as well as 123 water pumping machines, were seized and destroyed in the second phase of Operation Halt. He also gave an update on the over 400 personnel drawn from the armed forces deployed to areas around the river and Cobra in the western region to stop illegal miners from polluting the river.
It was observed that some illegal miners had moved their mining equipment, particularly excavators, to just nearby communities. So you are passing and you can see huge excavators standing in communities. But they've moved them out of the 100-meter zone. But you can see that this is a little community, and then you have 10, 20 excavators standing there. You know that they were using to do illegal things, but because it's not within the 100 meters, you cannot destroy them. So the armed forces will pass and move on. We need to take a decision about some of these things as a government and as a people. So like I said, that some illegal miners had moved their mining equipment, particularly excavators, to nearby communities that were out of the speculated 100-meter limit of operational activity for major river bodies. For instance, there's a community called Esua. Troops chanced upon 11 excavators that have been moved 2 kilometers away from the illegal mining site along the river and Cobra, with the possibility, of course, of illegal miners redeploying the equipment at an opportune time. So that's what happened. You go and see these excavators standing there. They had just moved them. They could clearly see that they had destroyed the river bodies. But what they did is to move them off from there. We will take a decision on this equipment. We will take a decision very, very soon on them, because we know they will want to go back. But because we set 100 meters, they have decided that, okay, we're going to move them to 2 kilometers away, 1 kilometer away. But we will take a decision on them very, very soon. Like I said, it's in their interest not to go back. But if you decide to park your excavators there and they have no use, we will take a decision on them as a government.
The Defense Minister also explained that some excavators were seen in communities close to water bodies, and a decision will be taken soon on destroying such excavators.
It was observed that some illegal miners had moved their mining equipment, particularly excavators, to just nearby communities. So you are passing and you can see huge excavators standing in communities. But they've moved them out of the 100-meter zone. But you can see that this is a little community, and then you have 10, 20 excavators standing there. You know that they were using to do illegal things, but because it's not within the 100 meters, you cannot destroy them. So the armed forces will pass and move on. We need to take a decision about some of these things as a government.
Now, in a related development, or in another development, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu is demanding a probe into government handling of the Galamsey fight, alleging an official at the presidency is currently under arrest for his involvement in the illicit activity. According to him, a gentleman called Damwa was arrested at the presidency a few days ago for his involvement in the illegal activity, but adds that there is an attempt to cover up the case. He however vows the minority will not allow that. So Idrisu again accused the president of acting illegally with the burning of excavators.
Demand some other probe into the handling of this Galamsey thing. You know, Leader Chimesa is very brilliant. You saw his answer on the floor of Parliament. He said demobilize. So I didn't find immediate responses to him. I'm now looking for what to do with demobilizing. So when you hear President Akufo-Addo say that go to court, ex-ante judicial powers are not vested in the president. You don't breach human rights and tell the person that go and recover their right in court. That's not the proper way to exercise executive authority. And therefore, the president is accordingly reminded that his powers and the constitutions are subject to the laws of Ghana, subject to the constitution of Ghana, and subject to he respecting the fundamental rights and freedoms of Ghanaians, including the right of any Ghanaian to own an excavator. It's a right. Maybe you people haven't even explored it further. It's a right. right to ownership, to own an excavator. And I'm not aware of any law in Ghana which permits burning of excavators. If you cannot identify the person driving it, go to the port who brought it in. And probably to improve it, we should now add that any person clearing an excavator must sign an undertaking that it will not be used for purposes of illegal mining. Then when he is in breach of it, or you come to Parliament for us to give you the mandate to ban excavators. But as at this morning, we have not clothed any president of Ghana with powers to ban excavators. I find that an exercise in excess of the president's power, and he is not above the law, he's not above the constitution of Ghana. He is to fight galamsey, and we are added in with him in fighting the menace because it does have major implications on the environment, particularly on our water body. He also must be interested in finding out who licensed them, who gave those licenses, when were they given. So we are demanding greater transparency, even in the president's quest to fight galamsey. We are demanding more transparency. I hear a gentleman was picked up here some few days ago at Flagstaff House, the one Damwa. We are following the case closely, and nobody should make an attempt to cover up what his doings have been relative to his engagement or involvement in galamsey. You know what I'm talking about. So he was picked up by national security. They are trying to cover up. We are following very closely. So you see, the president is fighting his own men. The illegal galamsey people, we are beginning to know them, who they are. And they are all acting on the breath and strength that our government is in power and our government is ruling. Let him deal decisively with them, and he has our full support in doing it, but not supporting him in saying that go to court after excavators have been burned.
The leaders in Parliament have been addressing a media briefing on planned activities for this meeting of Parliament. Majority Leader Osachimen Sabunsu, however, says he has no concerns with the burning of excavators.
People chancing on excavators and resorting to burning them, and he says there is no law that allows for that. The law provides that if an operator using an excavator illegally is chanced upon, that person must be arrested. But where you have situations as is happening now, where you go to a river body where the excavator is not supposed to be there in the first place, and the person who is operating it, upon hearing that you are advancing, vanishes and then removes the vital part. If you want to remove it, you can remove it. What do? As I said to Parliament, you further demobilize. You further demobilize. So I have no qualms in my mind. Look, what is an excavator supposed to be used for? Dredging in the construction of roads. But in the construction of roads, the excavator as an equipment is the least used equipment. For what? One is just for the excavation of drains. And if they have to build bridges, use it to excavate to dredge the stream before they construct the bridges. That's what they use them for. How can we have in this country excavators now numbering over 5,000? What are they using them for? Last week, on my way to Kumasi, at Asaman Tamfoye, the community before, that is from Accra, before Enyinem. When we got there, we saw an excavator on a low loader that was branching off into one village, and the whole population in the village had come out and were shouting, "Walk on here, walk on here." What are they doing? I want to know what they are doing with it. Today, streams feeding rivers have been diverted and hugely polluted.
We're taking a break here on Journey's Prime, but still ahead. Ashanti Region Police arrest 4 suspected armed robbers, it says, were behind a number of robberies in the region, including one in which a road engineer was killed.
Man has arrested 4 suspected armed robbers, one Emmanuel Entry, 40 years, now deceased, and an engineer with the shop construction was robbed of his Toyota Prado vehicle and was shot in the process by 3 armed men. Investigation so far has revealed that the above-named suspects perpetrated that crime.
They also say they are closing in on the robbers who attacked a shop on Tuesday and made away with 140,000 cedis. In the very latest on that robbery, a victim who sustained gunshot wounds said to have died.
Police is picking some reliable leads that will help in apprehending the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Now, there's been a 13% increase in transport fares, which will take effect from Saturday, June 5. Now, I'm going to share a statement that's been issued by the road transport operators, and it indicates that in line with the administrative arrangement on public transport fares, the road transport operators have reviewed the prices of the various components that go into the running of commercial transport services. After long and difficult negotiations with stakeholders, a 13% upward adjustment in public transport fares across all categories of services has been agreed upon. This is to accommodate predominantly an increase in the price of fuel, and it goes on to indicate that it takes effect from Saturday, June 5, 2021, and the fares cover the following types of road transport operations. And it indicates 1, intercity trotro, intercity long distance, and shared taxis. And it goes on to say, upon consultations, government has assured us that it will continue with efforts to prevent a steep rise in input costs. Government has also assured us by a letter from the Ministry of Finance that the suspension of the quarterly income tax payment by owners of trotros and taxis will be extended to cover intercity commuter vehicles to reduce their operational costs. We therefore encourage government to keep to its commitment in this regard. Members are kindly requested to comply with the new fares and post same at their loading terminals. We further request members, commuters, and the general public to kindly cooperate for the successful implementation of the new fares. Now, shortly, we will be getting some reactions from the bus terminals to the increase in transport fares. But back to the statement, it indicates the various fares and how much more you're going to pay when the increase is applied. So it says, for those who are currently paying 1 cedi, for instance, the new fare will go up to 1 cedi 20 pesos. That reflects the increase. And then for those who pay 1 cedi 10 pesos, they'll have to pay 1 cedi 30 pesos. It goes on all the way to those who are paying 6 cedis now. They would have to pay 6 cedis 80 pesos. Now, it also says intercity or long distance, for intercity or long distance vehicles. If you're paying 5 cedis right now, then the new fare is going to be 5 cedis 70 pesos. And then if you're paying 60 cedis, for instance, you're going to pay 68 cedis. So do take note of the new fares. Indeed, you can go onto myjoyonline.com, and where we have the various fares, we've published a story, so you can go there and get the details. Right now, though, my colleague Latif Idris, he's at one of the bus terminals here in Accra, and he's going to bring us some reactions. Latif, what are the reactions to this latest increase? You've been speaking to some passengers, I want to believe. All right, Latif, tell us, what are the passengers or the drivers telling you about this 13% increase in transport fares? Right, so we're having some challenges with our connection to Latif Idris, but we will bring you the reactions pretty shortly. You're watching Joy News Prime. Let's take a break now and then bring you business.
Yeah, welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aite. British Airways has reverted to Heathrow Airport for its Accra-London-Accra flights for now. Now, sources close to Joy Business say the decision is due to a drop in traffic levels for winter as the UK continues to have quarantines and red light. In this regard, British Airways had to maintain a certain level of service at the Heathrow Airport to keep the slots. Now, the intent to revert to Heathrow is expected to be finalized by July 2021, as that is the winter slot deadline. In January 2021 this year, the government of Ghana rejected the decision by British Airways to switch the London-Accra-London route from Heathrow to Gatwick Airport. In a memo, it said the airline had already made its decision known without much explanation. According to the government, British Airways went ahead with the move without any consultation. Currently, we do know that there's some form of meeting on the ranks of British Airways. We shall follow this closely to give you updates as and when we do have them. Away from that, President Akufo-Addo has charged telecom giant MTN to explore the opportunities for Ghanaian young entrepreneurs in the tech space. He's challenged the company to invest in the growth of startups and add on another innovation that will promote the use of digital technology in the country. President Akufo-Addo was speaking at a ceremony to launch the 25th year anniversary of MTN's operations in Ghana. Here's more. The operations of MTN started with Scancom as one of the privately owned mobile telecommunication firms in the country. According to President Akufo-Addo, the operations of the company have transformed the country's digital transformation journey so far, a situation he believes should be archived in a museum for generations yet unborn to learn about. The president charged the company to embark on an aggressive startup investment to support the country's youth and thereby bridging the digital divide.
Through the Accra Digital Center, government is providing state-of-the-art commercial office spaces for ICT businesses and BPOs and trains the youth in startup businesses. I'm charging MTN to invest also in promoting startups, reducing the gender digital divide, and stimulating the vibrant technology hub space. You should also work with your sector ministry and the industry to establish a telecommunications museum to chronicle and showcase our developments and achievements in this sector, because we have a story to tell.
Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Esla Osu-Akufo, expressed confidence that MTN will continue to support government's policy initiatives in the ICT sector.
MTN zero-rated educational sites for thousands of educational sites and enabled our young people to study and learn remotely, amongst other innovations that you pioneered. As government works to deepen digitalization in a more sustainable way, we look forward to greater industry collaboration and partnerships with you to move the Ghanaian telecoms market into the forefront of the African continent. Ghana is poised to be the digital hub of the sub-region, and we will do so with private sector partners like MTN.
The chief executive of MTN, Solomon Dadevo, highlighted some key strategies for the company in the years ahead.
Our vision is to lead the delivery of a bold new digital world to our customers. And this underpins our sustained investment in the MTN Ghana business in the areas of rural connectivity, encapsulating everywhere you go, and in implementing digital platforms to give the opportunity to our customers to live a modern, connected life. To achieve this, we have repositioned our strategy from Bright to Ambition 2025, which aims to build the largest and most valuable platform business with a focus on Africa.
MTN is currently the largest telecommunication service provider in the country. Ghana, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has renovated and handed over the Abelingpe primary and KG classroom block to the school authority. At the handing over ceremony, senior partner of KPMG, Anthony K. Sapon, says the project, which is valued at 150,000 cedis, will provide a better and safe environment for the kids to learn. Here's more.
KPMG Ghana, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has renovated and handed over the Abelingpe 1 primary and KG classroom block to the school authorities. At the handing over ceremony, senior partner at KPMG, Anthony K. Sapon, said the project, which is valued at 150,000 Ghana cedis, will provide better and safe environment for the kids to study.
We have taken education as one of our key areas for corporate social responsibility. So a few years ago, we selected one of the schools in our community, which is I've forgotten the name, but which is on the other side of the Abelingpe. And we did a 3-year investment program with them.
Mrs. Sapon further indicated that KPMG will work hand in hand with government and other corporate organizations to provide an all-inclusive development for underdeveloped communities.
We believe that we need to stand shoulder to shoulder with the government and partner with all agencies that seek development to work together. And therefore, my call on other corporate institutions and individuals that if you can help in your own small way, you should be able to help.
Mr. Sapon also promised that KPMG will in the coming months provide computer labs and other essential amenities for the school.
And that's how we end business for this segment. I'm Charles Aite.
Many thanks for staying with us. You're watching Joy News Prime Time to bring you the sports. My name is Hans Mensah, and we begin with results from the MTN FA Cup round of 64. Some interesting matches and, equally interesting results. A host of the Premier League teams that played today winning their games. Of course, Hearts of Oak beating Liberty Professionals by 3-0. Sky FC also beating Ebusia Dwars by 2-0. 11 Wise lost by 1-0 against Mediama Sporting Club. Bekwa Youth Football Club also losing by 2-0 against Kumasi Ashanti Kotoko. Mina Sharks beat Metro Stars by 1-0. Ken Faisal 0, Ashanti Gold 1, Ediana Stars 1, 11 Wonders 0, Tema Youth 5, Interlies 1, Wafa 4, Akachi Stars 0, Brekum Chelsea 3, Bofuakwa Tano 1, and Far Rangers 2, Dreams FC 2, Dreams winning on penalties by 4-2. Far Rangers not getting through there on that occasion. So those are the results from the MTN FA Cup round of 64. Our Black Stars head coach Siki Akonas called up Lawrence Atizigi, Joe Fameye and Moro Salifu for next week's international friendlies against Morocco and the Ivory Coast. Atizigi has been invited as a replacement while Fameye and Salifu are in to augment the squad.
Nanulot part of the team are in Cape Coast training with the rest of the squad for the international matches scheduled for June 8th and 12th respectively. Atizigi, who had a brilliant season with St. Gallen in the Swiss Super League, comes in to replace Richard Ofori. Fameye, a former player of Asokwa Deportivo, scored 12 goals and made 5 assists for FC Orenburg in their quick promotion back to the Russian Premier League. Bechem United's Moro Salifu has been in and out of the team as he missed out of the final squad for the African Cup of Nations qualifier in March this year. 17 players trained on Monday. They include Lawrence Atizigi, Razak Abalura, Danlad Ibrahim, Gideon Mensah, Andy Yadom, Philemon Balfour, Daniel Amate, Joseph Eje, Nicolas Opoku, Ismail Ganiu, Emmanuel Lumote, Baba Idrisu, Moro Salifu, Joel Fameye, Gladson Awako, Emmanuel Jesse, and Rashid Norte. The team will continue their preparations this week before departing to Morocco.
Now let's talk about American football and Ryan Glover, who is a quarterback for University of Pennsylvania. American football team has joined forces with the American Football Federation Ghana to train and groom players who constitute the playing body for Ghana's first ever national team. Now, despite its 4-year existence, the AFFG have been unable to send the team to represent the country in both international and in both continental, I beg your pardon, and international tournament. Here is a report by my colleague, Michelle Quino.
The American Football Federation Ghana started predominantly as a fan group and slowly grew to become the national organizing body for American football in Ghana. Despite its birth in 2017, the federation has never had a national team to represent the country in international and continental tournaments. The federation has stated and taken actions on intentions to set up a standing national team. Mohamed Osman, Director for Development, knows that considering the Ghanaian talents taking active playing roles in the game in America, there is the potential to fully develop the game on the local terrain.
So if you are to consider the National Football League, that's the NFL that is played in the United States, there are a lot of Ghanaians there. We have our own boy, Ezekiel Ansan. He has had camps with us 3 consecutive times, 2017, 2018, and 2019. Recently, Jeremiah Owusu, he was also drafted to the NFL 2021. It means the Ghanaians have the potential to feature there. So coming to Ghana and then focusing to develop the game here, we are looking forward to prepare our boys because we've been invited for international tournaments, but we are not ready yet. So the goal now is to be able to set up a first national team that will play its neighboring countries like Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt. They are all playing American football. So we are able to form it, and then we play this friendly with them. And I believe that we can put Ghana on the map. Because if our mentors like Ezekiel Ansan and Jeremiah also are doing it out there, and then people are their names are being hailed, it means the boys have the potential.
Ryan Glover, quarterback for UPenn State University, through his experiences in the U.S., recognizes the numerous Ghanaian American football talents in the U.S. and indicates the training camps he engages in Ghana is to support the spread and develop players here in the country.
What I'm trying to do is just bridge the connection from U.S. and Ghana, because there is football talent out here. You can see it in the NFL. There are a few guys. All I think is they need the exposure to really get better and to really make it to the next level. So all I'm trying to do is just help these guys understand the basics of football to help them get to that level if they want to go.
And that's it for this installment. There is more sports later in the bulletin.
All right, time for showbiz. Becky Bex, hello.
Hello to you. Good news for the tourism industry. I am very excited because you only see buses, tall buses in Dubai, somewhere in London, and because I've traveled to London, you know what I mean, and in the US. But I mean, they're trying. So what the ministry is trying to do is to encourage tourism in the regions. So bringing tourism back to the people here in Ghana. We are not going to wait for the foreigners.
Essentially, encourage Ghanaians to travel within Ghana.
Within Ghana. Yeah. So here is Minister of the Sector.
We're launching this domestic regional tourism as another step in our tourism development. Over-reliance on international tourism arrivals has been affected by the COVID-19, as mentioned in the President's message, from a figure of 1.1 million people to less than 300,000 from 2019 to 2020 because of COVID. It's not acceptable. We can't continue to rely on foreign arrivals. Therefore, we are launching this program to encourage our people in Ghana to go around the country and visit places. When you do domestic tourism, people get to know each other. They got to know around the country and they respect each other's cultures and values. And that brings national unity and cohesion. And that's all we need to do to develop. Also, Ghana is the most peaceful country in West Africa. Yet we are the third in terms of tourism arrivals. We want to move from number 3 to number 1. Gambia and Senegal are first and second. We think with our access, tourism access, and our peace and our good leadership, Ghana should take the lead in tourism attraction in West Africa. From there, we move to Africa. So the essence of this program is to ginger Ghanaians, encourage them, religious people, educational people, business people, to cultivate the habit of moving around the country. They can see each other, feel each other, eat Ghana, see Ghana, and make Ghana bigger and better.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to, taking a tour in that bus.
It's called Chuloli.
Chuloli.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, bone shaker.
Oh yeah.
Or chololi.
Chololi. We will ride in chololi. Yeah. But let me tell you about Joy Entertainment. So we are up, or we're coming up with something called Celebrate. It's actually a show set to celebrate the music industry, musicians, our music by ourselves. And so Trickmatic this Friday will be the first to be celebrated.
All right.
And we have our head of music, DJ Black, speaking to us.
Is going to bring you celebrate. Celebrate is to, of course, bring attention to some of our marvelous musicians. And this Friday, we're setting all off. We're celebrating Trickmatic. Okay. It's music for us, by us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is it going to go, and which show is it going to be stationed on?
It's going to be on all our shows, all our platforms, all our Joy FM platforms. So throughout the day, you hear songs about Trickmatic. People are going to be calling in, telling us, their favorite Trickmatic songs and their favorite Trickmatic moments, also on TV. So of course, watch our Joy Entertainment. We're bringing us.
Me, I'm a very good musician.
When you try to sing, you confuse me.
It's okay.
Okay.
So my colleague Ibrahim Bembaka put together a report about why we put on makeup.
All right.
It's a very interesting topic that you should see.
Ever thought why ladies wear makeup? Is it to boost their confidence, or is it to cover up spots on their faces? We stepped out to talk to a few of them, and this is what we got.
Makes me look beautiful, makes me look bold. It helps me cover some pimples.
And it makes me beautiful. I feel okay. I feel so relaxed in makeup.
No, of course I don't. Why? Because I want people to see my natural beauty.
How about the men? Do they like it when the women wear makeup?
Oh, come on, hell no. I don't really like girls who wear makeup.
CEO of the Sienna makeup brand, Vanessa Simmons, doesn't think all women should wear makeup.
What I'm trying to say is that women can wear makeup, but it's not a must, because some women, they wear makeup to cover up their damaged skin. So with Sienna Cosmetics London, you wear makeup because you want to, not because you have to. So because you have that glowing skin, so you won't need to cover up anything, basically. All our ingredients are free from harsh chemicals. So with Sienna Cosmetics London, you don't get any damage. You repair the skin rather and make the skin very glowy.
I wear makeup because I have to come on TV. I should come on TV one day without makeup, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and I wear makeup because my face is going to look oily without it.
So you have to just, touch up. You make yourself up sometimes.
In fact, all the time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Becky Bex, for bringing us showbiz. Well, those are excavators being used to help drain a mining pit at Agbane in the Talensi district of the Upper East region, where police and municipal authorities are racing against time to rescue Galamsey miners there. It is feared there could be some miners trapped after the pit became flooded following heavy rains Tuesday night. The plan, according to officials, is to drain the pit so the rescue team can go in there to retrieve anyone that could be trapped.
Operation provide security for the area. The police and the security agencies must support the cause of Ghana, because it is about saving of life and property, or protection of life and property. And that is the reason why we are here. Having gone around and look at what is going on, we are satisfied with the rescue operation that is ongoing. The regional security coordinator is here. NADMO is here. The Ghana Police Service is here. The Association of the Small-Scale Miners Association in the Upper East region is also here, and they are doing their best. They also have support from their external partners who are doing massive operation in terms of drawing of waters from the pits. And we think that by the time the operation is over, we'll be able to determine the real situation as to whether there are casualties or there are no casualties. As of now, the assumption is that there are missing persons. But to be able to determine whether it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, the rescue operation, when it is finished, we'll be able to confirm that. But so far, we are satisfied. We are also looking beyond the rescue operation. The rains.
It is unclear how many miners are trapped in the pit, but our correspondent Albert Sori, who has been to the scene, has gathered that there could be between 6 to 8 miners trapped. He joins me now with the very latest. Now, Albert, how did you settle on the possibility of between 6 and 8 miners being trapped in the pit?
Israel, that is still the number we have. In fact, I stayed at the area till around 5 p.m. and they were still pumping the water out of the pit. What is happening is that the pit is very, very, very deep. From what they described, from the ground down to the bottom of the pit is like 8 times, the length of an electricity pole. Now in there you have tunnels, and all these tunnels, some of them go up to 500 meters, and so all these tunnels are covered in water. It will take some time before they are able to pump all the water out. So as we speak, it is unlikely that they will be able to find the bodies even tonight, because before I left, the Minerals Commission officials were also there at the scene. We're advising them that if they are even able to pump all the water out, it wouldn't be advisable considering how long the underground tunnels have been wet. It will not even be safe for people to go in there to try and look for the bodies, because what they call the roof of the mine can sometimes come down when the place is too loose. So they are still considering the possibility of even finding the bodies tonight. But the figures they have are between 6 to 8 miners. There are others who have suggested that apart from the miners who were in there, later some people went in to try and warn them that there was danger, and some of these people did not also come out. But they cannot tell for sure until they are able to get to the bottom. When the water is completely pumped out, then we can know for sure exactly how many people are in there.
And Albert, how long do they think that it's going to take for them to drain the pit enough to access it?
Yes, so just around 4:30 p.m., we had heard that they had finished, pumping the water. Now, from the description they gave about what underground looks like, they have levels. So you get to one level and you think you have gotten to the bottom, and then there is another pit that goes further down. And so that is what they were doing. They said they were at the very last level. And initially they said that the water had finished and they were now bringing out the machine. But it turned out that there were some other tunnels that had water, which also became another issue that they needed to deal with. And so the leader of the small-scale miners was telling us that based on what he knows about what goes on down there, it could take another 3 hours before they can even finish pumping the water. But that was just his guess, because it always looked like the water was finishing, and before they realized there would be more water that they needed to pump out. So it's a very unpredictable situation, and the fears are that even if they eventually find the bodies, they are likely not to be in a very good condition.
All right. Thank you very much, Albert Sori, bringing us that update there from on the Gbani mine situation. Police in the Ashanti region have arrested 4 suspected armed robbers involved in various crimes in the region, including the robbery and murder of road engineer Emmanuel Usuentri. The suspects, Mustafa Adams, Ibrahim Adamu, Seidu Bona alias Lion, and Mohammed Abubakar, aged between 33 and 39, are assisting the police with their investigation. The suspected robbers are believed to be behind the murder of the road engineer with Joshop's Construction Limited, the company working on the Awiankwanta-Obuasi Road. Emmanuel Usuentri was shot in the head at Wokrom in the Shanty region while returning home from work. Police investigations also revealed the suspects were involved in the robbery of the MCE for Asukari Mampong, among many others. ASP Godwin Ahianyo is Ashanti Region Police PRO.
Police Command has arrested 4 suspected armed robbers for their involvement in various cases of armed robbery in the region. The suspects are Mustafa Adams, 37 years, Ibrahim Ademu, 39 years, Asidu Bona alias Lion, 33 years, and Mohammed Abubakar, 33 years. The suspects are all in police custody assisting in police investigations. It would be recalled that on Thursday, 25th March 2021, one Emmanuel Entry, 40 years, now deceased, and an engineer with the shop construction was robbed of his Toyota Prado vehicle with registration number JN4131-20 and was shot in the process by 3 armed men. The victim sustained gunshot wounds and was rushed to the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital for treatment, but later died whilst on admission. Investigation so far has revealed that the above-named suspects perpetrated that crime. Subsequent investigations have also established that these suspects are involved in many other robberies cases reported in the region, such as the one that took place on 4th April 2021, where the victim was robbed of his Toyota RAV4 vehicle at gunpoint at Kenyase, Bampinase, a suburb of Kumasi. Investigation has also established that the same suspects attacked and robbed Honorable MCE of Askore Mampong of his Toyota Hilux with registration number JW 2473-16. That was on the 12th of February 2021. The suspect again attacked and robbed another victim on 15th April 2021 of his unregistered Range Rover at Brooklyn F-Line. On the 25th of April 2021, at about 9 p.m., suspect Mustafa Adams, one of the named armed robbers, together with 2 of his accomplices who are at large at the moment, again robbed a Honda Accord DV trade plate with registration number 4894A at Ashanti, also near Kenyase here in Kumasi. On the 28th of April 2021, Mustafa Adams again with Mohammed Abubakar attempted to rob a Toyota 4Runner with DV trade plates at gunpoint at Kenyase Abrim, but luck eluded them and were arrested by the police. They later led police to the arrest of the other 2 suspects mentioned above. They have all been remanded in police custody to assist in police investigation.
In a separate development, ASP Ahianyo says the police are closing in on the armed robbers who attacked Consult Agency Limited and made away with 138,000 cedis Tuesday.
Yesterday, Tuesday, 1st June 2021, at about 3:30 p.m., 4 armed men on 2 motorbikes attacked the Consult Agency Limited at Wokrum Estate Junction and robbed them of an amount of about 138,000 Ghana cedis. The armed men in the process shot a customer who was later identified as Collins Dapa, aged 43 years. The victim was rushed to the Minsha Hospital for treatment but was pronounced dead on arrival. His body has since been deposited at the Ebenezer Hospital morgue pending autopsy. Meanwhile, the police is picking some reliable leads that will help in apprehending the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
Right, so we return to our earlier story on the transport fare increases. So in line with the administrative arrangements, transport fares are to go up by 13% effective Saturday, June 5. And Latif Idris has been out there at the bus terminal and has been speaking with some passengers and drivers as well. Let's hear him.
By 13%, 13 percentage increment in transport fares across the country. So we are here at the station, the biggest station in Circle, to engage with drivers and commercial passengers to tell us what they make of this increment. And I'm sure once you get the news, you start doing your calculations and know how much you'll be paying in addition to what you've been paying over the period. I have done my own calculation from Ablekuman to La Paz. it used to be 4 cedis 50 pesos. And so now with the 13% increment, I did the maths and I'm paying 34 pesos more. So I'm going to be paying 4 cedis 74 cedis. 4 cedis 74 cedis. So getting closer to the 5 cedi mark. 74 pesos. So 4 cedis 74 pesos, getting to the 5 cedi mark. And I have some of the drivers here with us. They are going to tell us what they make of the increment. You first of all, you give us your name, sir.
My name is Albert Gomrakun.
Are you a driver or you are a passenger waiting to get a jump onto one of these vehicles and go home?
I'm a passenger.
You're a passenger. Yes. Yeah. So tell us what you make of this news.
I didn't hear what you are saying, but because of joy news that I heard right today, I've increased the fares, but I didn't know.
You didn't know. So now you know. What do you make of it?
Nothing. I said nothing, but because from 37 to circle, that was I pay 3 cedis, but I didn't know what from Monday to from Monday. No, I don't know what to pay.
So it takes effect on Sunday. Until Sunday, you have increment. You know why I already say
because I'm a worker, I'm ready to pay, but I need a choice. I say I don't have to pay, but I am a worker. But because you have increased the fares, you know, even my salary will go up.
You are sure your salary will go up?
But yes, I'm sure that it will go up.
Okay. To take care of the increment, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, so he is a passenger who has come to, he's waiting to get on board one of the trotro cars and head home. Let's engage. Okay, so let's get to speak with some of the passengers here who would agree to speak with us. Hello, sir. Would you like to speak with us?
Why not?
Okay. So we are talking about, I don't know if you've heard the news about the increment in transport fares, expected to go up by some 13% come Sunday. How did the news hit you?
Well, I wouldn't expect that increment. 13% to me is too much. I was thinking like 7 or 4%. So we are all going to face it, but government should do something. It's too much.
Have you done your maths already and realized the difference you're going to be paying?
I will not be surprised. Instead of 13, they take 2 cedi depending on where you are going. I believe from where I'm going, it's going to be, they'll rather put, instead of, 30 pesos, they'll rather put 40 pesos. So I wouldn't be surprised they'll put 40 pesos instead of 30 pesos.
You need to up your game to raise more and be ready to pay more.
Of course, why not? We are going to face it, not me alone.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Would you talk to us? Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
You give us your name.
Rosina.
Where are you going?
Ablekuma.
Ablekuma. Maya?
No.
Ablekuma proper?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about, how you are also receiving this news about the increment in transport fares come Sunday.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, nothing.
Okay, you don't want to talk about it. Let's move to the next person. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You give us your name.
Valencia.
Sorry?
Valencia.
Valencia. I asked the question already. How are you receiving the news?
What news?
About the increment in transport fares, which takes effect come Sunday, 13% increment.
It's cool. I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Irene. I'm called Michael Trinebois.
Michael Trinebois.
Yeah.
Tell us about this latest developments with regards to the increments in transport fares?
The increment in transport fare is very bad because it seems the government have to do something about it. So we are all hoping for him to do something about it very seriously. Because the increment, they start effect from on Sunday. So we can't talk much about
Over
it.
the weekend.
That's right. So we need him to do something about it. Very well.
But you also know that the fuel prices have been going up over the period, and there wasn't any increment in transport fare. Is it fair to say that, yes, now is the time for the increment to kick in?
Oh, okay. It's fair for now for the increment to come. But at least when the increment is very high, you have to do something about it. Okay. That's right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenebua. So they are trying to catch a place in the Trotsky. We take it back a bit and see if we can get a lot more people to speak to us with regards to the increment. Yes, I'm sure people here wouldn't get space in the Trotsky. So we can start from here. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You give us your name, sir?
What?
You give us your name.
My name is Paul.
Paul, I don't know if you've heard the news about the increment in transport fares.
No.
So there's going to be 13% increment in transport fares. Takes effect over the weekend. How are you receiving this news?
Maybe it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Why is it okay for you?
Well, maybe it's my side, not everybody.
So I ask for you, why is it okay for you?
Maybe the fuel prices is going up. So if it's increased, it's not a problem. That's all.
Thank you very much. So he has no issues with the increment. So it's mixed reaction, you would say. There are those who are okay with it. There are those who think something should be done about the increment. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
You give us your name, sir?
Michael.
Michael, where are you going?
I'm going to Awishi.
Awishi, okay. That's my neighborhood. So, have you heard the news about the increment in transport fares?
No, please, I haven't heard.
Okay, so let me hit you with the news. The news is that come this weekend, you'll be paying 13% more than what you've paid over the period. How has that hit you right now?
But if the government thinks it's okay for us, I think there's nothing we can say. And if there's something they can also do for us so that we can also feel a little bit happy, they should help us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we take a couple and then that should be it. Let's head back a bit and try and get some. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
You give us your name?
Tina.
Tina, where are you going?
Anya.
How is she? Anya, okay. So, have you heard the news about the increment in transport fares yet?
Yes.
Okay. How did the news hit you?
Oh, I just heard it today, so I'm just waiting for the new fare.
So how are you reacting to the fact that now you are going to pay 13% more?
Right, so that's Latif Idris speaking to some passengers there at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. Now, moving on, Minister of State Designator of the Finance Ministry, Charles Edubwai, has contradicted claims made by the Finance Ministry that Black Star Brokerage has not been appointed as an advisor to the ministry. Speaking to Parliament's Appointment Committee during his vetting on Wednesday, he said his firm, Black Star Brokerage, was selected as one of the advisors to the International Markets Programme, which includes the issuance of the Eurobond. Meanwhile, NDC MP for Boku Central, Mama Yarega, says he disagrees with calls for Parliament to reject Charles Edubwahin's nomination as Minister of State at the Finance Ministry. Bogatanga East MP Isaac Odongo says the former Deputy Finance Minister's company, Black Stars Brokerage, Databank, and other brokerage firms have made more than 850 million Ghana cedis since 2017 from helping government arrange bonds on the international market. He says that places him in a conflict of interest position.
Parliament has the power not to approve Charles Edubwai. I hold the view that Charles Edubwai, by this conduct, has demonstrated lack of capacity and fiduciary responsibility to lead the finance of our country. Let me tell you, as we speak to you, we know Ken is not well. And we wish him well, but he's not well. Tactically, Charles Edubwahi have been upgraded to the position of a Minister of State for a reason, to provide the needed backstopping to the Finance Minister. And therefore, we are actually looking at somebody who could become the de facto Finance Minister of the state. And this is how he has started. So now when he becomes the Minister of State and Ken relinquishes his responsibilities to this man, can you now tell the next move and how we are going to suffer it? So I am calling on my colleagues, first on the appointment committee and the plenary, if they so recommend to us, to reject Charles Edubwahi in entirety, because he is a very big danger to the finances of our country by this very conduct. And we cannot be looking at these numbers. How can we just be borrowing without end? And yet, we cannot demonstrate what we have used the money for. 200 billion. Does that sound like Ghana? On any day, I believe in the sanctity of Parliament. And that's the reason I have not resigned from Parliament. On any day, I believe in the collective will of the minority to protect the public purse. But don't forget that when we come to Parliament as individuals, we have a responsibility to different stakeholders. And individuals respond to those different stakeholders differently. Okay? And so on the basis of that, it is very difficult for me to pigeonhole everybody in Parliament, because we all provide different weights and different importance to different stakeholders within the sphere of our work as members of Parliament. I have a different view as to why we would put such a person there.
Mr. Yarriga says it will be unfair not to approve Charles Edubwahi. However, says there is a real danger of insider trading.
Our constitution is not too tight on that. Is that okay? Don't place yourself in a situation where there's a potential of conflict of interest. Now, how do we determine that there's a potential of conflict of interest? Who is the determinant of that? Does it have to be the court? Can a committee come to that conclusion? And etc. But then the point is that for me,
criminal investigation possibly, if there is that suspected incident going into the
for me, we've already approved the finance minister, who is similarly situated. So personally, I may think it would be unfair not to approve him under similar circumstance, unless we are recalling the finance minister, both of them, and say, both of you fall into the same category, and we as a committee have been able to come to a conclusion that there's a real likelihood that you will benefit from insider information. And so we want you to, relinquish your post, or, completely do away with your shares in the business. In some jurisdictions, public officers similarly situated have been forced to do away with their shares and take their cash and go and then invest it in some other business. But here, have we gotten to that level where there is even a risk of it? Not that we've even established that it has happened, but where there's a risk of it. Do we want to set the standard to that level where you must dispose of your shares in the business so that that risk is completely obliterated? So that's the situation. But really, strictly speaking, legally, the basic rules of conflict of interest only request that you declare the interest. Is that okay? That the process of procuring the services of a company should be transparent, should be competitive. And so unless we're able to prove that the process was not transparent, that it wasn't competitive, and that it was biased in favor of these nominees and the minister, I think we have to live with that.
Well, in the altercation during the 4th ordinary session of the 5th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament, which opened in Johannesburg, South Africa, Julius Malema, a South African representative of the Economic Freedom Fighters, and another member of the legislature, the South African, is heard threatening to kill his fellow Pan-African parliamentarian. Now, that was after the House had postponed an earlier decision to go ahead with a scheduled election following a revelation that a staffer had tested positive for COVID-19. The decision to postpone the vote didn't go down well with some of the parliamentarians, resulting in heated exchanges between members. Addressing its fellow Pan-African parliamentarians, the majority Chief Whip Frank Arnaud Dompré called on them to give peace a chance in the chamber.
Various caucuses have taken entrenched positions. So people want to make sense. People are speaking to logic. People are quoting protocols that exist, that is binding, and yet nobody listens. So what do we do under the circumstance? We cannot continue this lane forever. We have to make sense. We are thinking beings. And don't forget, our various countries who paid our hotel bills, who gave us the allowances to come here. The news is all over that we are here, we can't make a simple decision, we are fighting. Let me begin by appealing, Madam Chair, your good self and all the respected, and I see very experienced senior people in the chamber. That is why we have to fall on those experienced knowledge and logic for us not to be caught in this quagmire of confusion. Look, we better get serious. Our people are out there suffering with poverty and hunger. Maybe I'm very emotional and I'm justified to speak the way I'm speaking. If we don't make sense out of this, we will not have a justification for our trips to be paid by our member countries to come here.
All right, we're taking a break here now. Joining us, we'll bring you more business and then sports.
You're welcome to business. Now, the bulk oil distribution storage has recorded a profit of over 31 million cedis in the previous quarter of the economic year. And to this end, they said that this was due to, despite various challenges within the value chain of the operations amid COVID-19. We have more in this report.
The sterling performance of Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company was due to prudent management practices. Despite a difficult year due to COVID-19, whereby oil prices plummeted, Boss enjoyed some profits for the first time in several years. Edwin Provincial is managing director.
In terms of the management performance for 2020, we budgeted to make a loss of 86 million cedis. Through the effort of the staff and of the board, we were able to make a profit of 31 million cedis. And so going forward the next 3-4 years, the focus is to enhance operational excellence, hold people accountable, and aggressively grow the business. By aggressively growing the business, we mean, as we speak, we didn't have exports. So if we decide to export aggressively, this is an existing product in a new market, so we grow the business. We also don't have some new products like LPG. So if we branch into LPG, selling LPG as well, and transporting and distributing LPG, that is a new product in an existing market.
Chief Executive of Ghana National Gas Company, Dr. Ben Ashanti, however, said his outfit owes the Volta River Authority $845 million. According to him, cash flow has become a major challenge in the energy sector.
Ghana Gas at the end of 2020 December owed about $845 million. About half of that belongs to GMPC. So the composite cost was the gas for GMPC, and then the services provision from Ghana Gas, processing and transportation, also attracted about half that amount of money. So that's where we say that. I would say that the government, working with other agencies now, instituted the cash waterfall mechanism and the clearinghouse, where every collection associated with gas is brought to a port. And everyone who contributed to the generation of power that ECG says gets paid accordingly.
The State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, organized the maiden edition of a weekly series of media engagements aimed at sharing stories of state-owned enterprises. Bust and Ghana Gas were the first SOEs to share their stories.
Now, the Transport Minister has asked all telecommunication companies that have their masts along the flight paths leading to the Wa airports to remove them or face the sanctions of the law. We have more in this report.
The euphoria that greeted the resumption of commercial flights in the Upper West region suddenly ended on a dull fad after 17 months of its operation by Africa World Airline. Since then, there have been several visits made by ministers from the aviation ministry to the airport to abreast themselves of factors which has halted the otherwise smooth operations of commercial flights at the airport. The halting of commercial flights at the Wa airport, according to Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, has impacted negatively on the lives of the people.
Business people used to travel to Accra, do their businesses, and come immediately. It is no longer the case. So all this are affecting the forward march of the Upper West region.
Members of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs in their last meeting with President Akufo-Addo a few weeks ago appealed to the latter to work on the challenges which has halted the operation of the commercial flights from the Wa airport. President Akufo-Addo therefore tasked the Transport Minister Kweku Ofori-Esiema to ensure that these challenges are worked on. Together with officials of the civil aviation and the Ghana Airport Company, he took a tour of the Wa airport to acquaint himself with the challenges to enable him do a quick fix on them. Notable among the challenges was the sighting of telecommunications marks on the paths of the flight at Mangu and Poguri, which the minister said will be removed.
My information is that this matter had come to the notice of National Security, Ghana Civil Aviation, Ghana Airport Company had complained, NCA had all complained to the company, giving them directive to remove the mask. As of today, they haven't done so.
The people of the Upper West region have lost count the number of times ministers do come to this airport for inspection. It is their hope that it will not only be the last, but it will ease their burden on air travels in the region. Reporting for J News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Well, even as Ghana emerges from the scourge of COVID-19 economically, businesses, especially entrepreneurs, are now coming up with innovative end-to-end business models to meet the demands of the current COVID-19 times. I visited one such business, Native Bar, and here's what I found.
Business is open at Native Bar, a Pan-African restaurant in the heart of Accra.
Finally, we got to meet.
Idubia Yusi is co-founder of this restaurant. For her, the coronavirus pandemic has been a cash cow.
Okay, before COVID, sales were okay. After COVID, you know, there were so many hiccups with the COVID, and so we had to, bring about some very innovative packages because now the focus was really on deliveries. Okay. So we looked at some of the gaps. The president said something about nutrition, and it falls into our brand. Yes. So what we did was that we packaged a lot of exciting things. People didn't want to go to the market. Native Bar would do family cuisine so that we deliver to you. We had discounts for corporates. We had such exciting packages, leveraging on the nutritious meals that people have to eat so that they boost their immune system. So what happened was for us, post-COVID, like before COVID, we had about 20% delivery services. Okay. After COVID, we had about 80%. Whoa, so there was a positive for us with the COVID because we actually looked at all the needs that it brought about and we leveraged on it and put together packages. So yeah, you look at a disadvantage and turn it into an advantage.
Perfect.
Data from the Statistical Service show that during the lockdown, about 244,000 firms adjusting their business models by relying more on digital solutions such as mobile money and internet for sales.
Let me show you around Native Bar. You know, it's not just a restaurant.
Okay.
You know, when you come here, there's so much activity. Like, if you want to read, we have this.
So you have a miniature library?
Oh, yeah. You know, so you can pick up any book, read it. So long as when you're going, you leave it. You know.
But what informed this decision?
Yeah, because we wanted to create something that people, it's serene environment, people can come and relax here, away from all the stress, you know. So you pick up a book. Any type.
Family,
you know, you have stories, you have entrepreneurship, you know, and all that. Then we have games. If you're a family, you come here, you have the Ludo, the Owari, and all these things. So you can just hang out here the whole day.
Away from home.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I know one thing that caught my attention has been the arts.
It's the arts. This was so deliberate because we wanted at the same time to also showcase Ghanaian artwork. Okay, and
these were made by Ghanaians.
These are made by Ghanaians. Excellent artwork, and we wanted to use our walls to showcase Ghanaian artwork. So every now and then you come to Native Bar, there's a new artist we are featuring. You know, so this artist.
Oh, so you do change things.
Oh yeah, we do. It's deliberate. You know, and it's for sale. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, when you're eating your very healthy meals, you know, it's going down, digesting very well because the ambiance is very lovely, catches your attention, you want to buy. We have, you know, Caucasians come in here, you know, tourists, and they want to buy it. They bought, you know, quite a number. Okay.
So what are your interpretations of these?
Actually, I have an artist background. I did O-level arts.
Oh,
you know, so I have an artist background. And one of the things that really struck me about his artwork is that he's depicting African women in a very beautiful way.
I see that.
Most of the time, what sometimes I don't really like is the fact that, you know, you have all these carvings and the women don't look too beautiful. But this is so beautiful. I mean, it's like different ways in which African women, you know, are beautiful African women, and that's.
So that's a woman with
this is a woman with an afro hair.
Yes, typical of the African woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also see the elephant.
Yeah.
You know, this is also somewhat political in its stand.
Don't go there.
But also artistic in its nature.
Yeah. You can see the might. I think I interpret this in so many ways, as in, you know, the might of an elephant and the aspects of every aspect of the body parts of an elephant is useful.
Speaking of art, we have this gentleman.
Yeah, so this beautiful artwork that we were talking about, this is the person who did it. This is the artist. His name is Eric Otu.
Eric, great job.
Yeah, Eric.
Let's sit with him and see what he has to say.
All right.
So you just sit next to him.
All right.
He's the one who's made your place so beautiful and so colorful. Eric, nice to be on the show. And so you do all these things yourself?
Yeah, I do all these things.
For how long have you been into the arts industry?
Actually, I started for 2012 when I started, but it was a bit rough. So I was doing, but then I was doing shoemaking and barbering. To get the colors, because the colors is not, it's a bit expensive. So when I realized that then I have to give myself to the art, because I wasn't able to focus on it and it was not coming out, the beauty was not coming out. So I dropped the shoemaking and the barbering and I focus on it full time. So now I'm a full-time painter.
So you had no educational training in this? This is pure talent?
Yeah, I have it, actually I'm a talented, it's a raw gift, but I passed through a system. I attended the Ghana College of Art and Design.
So you're not just serving people meals, but you're also connecting creative minds like that of Eric to the potential of business.
And actually, when we started, we wanted to have different groups of entrepreneurs meet here. This should be the hub where you meet and you know, talk about your innovative ideas and all that. You know, so the artist thing is just an angle of it. But most people come here and have their meetings, and throughout the whole day they eat and they have their meetings.
So how do you share the sales?
Okay, so the thing is, because we want to promote them, you know, elsewhere when they do an exhibition, they really charge them. But on our walls, we just take a small percentage. I'll tell you after the show.
It isn't all about the profits.
Our pack is eco-friendly.
Idibia also demonstrated the eco-friendly materials, Ghana made by the way, she has employed for packaging.
Sick, but this is eco-friendly. So we can even put soups in here, nothing happens. So it's specially made like that. So that's our uniqueness.
So these things are made in Ghana?
Yeah, now we used to buy them in Dubai. Okay. But now there are suppliers, you know, who make them. So then, you know, a sandwich pack, and then if we serve you with smoothies or anything, we put it in this. So we have a green philosophy, and then we have solar panels here. So yeah, so it's hybrid ECG and this.
The story of Idibia is an entrepreneur who is adding innovation to her business. That's how we end this segment of Business. Sport is up next.
And it's time to bring you the second installment of Sports here on Joy News Prime. My name is Hans Mensah Ando. Now, Great Olympics head coach Arnold Walker says he's proud to have the Quay brothers, Maxwell Abekwe and Samuel Ashikwe, in his team in the ongoing Ghana Premier League. The duo have contributed 11 goals to propel the Wonder Club to third place on the league table with 7 matches to play. Their performance earned them call-ups to the Black Satellites and the Black Stars, and Walker is a proud man. There is more in the following report.
The Quay brothers, Maxwell Abekwe and Samuel Ashikwe, have contributed 11 goals as Great Olympics seek to finish among the top 4 clubs at the end of the Ghana Premier League season. Head coach of the team, Arnold Walker, says it is a pleasure to have the two brothers play for one team, and their contribution to the quest of the club in the ongoing Premier League season is one he's excited about.
You know, they are fantastic players of all standards. If they should be in the national teams, one played in the under 20, came back and went to the local blaster, one with the main national team, travel with the local blasters. This tells you how fantastic they are. And I'm happy also having my two brothers all in the Ghana national team. That makes me proud. So I'm happy having them there.
The total number of goals contributed by the Quay brothers seem to suggest they pass the ball among themselves to ensure the other star players within the team. However, Maxwell Abekwe insists the success of the team comes first before their individual respective desires.
We are in a team, and it's always a team first, you understand? Not individual. That's the motive behind my football, the way I play. So sometimes you can see even on the at training grounds, I can face a keeper and yet waiting for someone to come, and then I give a pass. You could see, that's me. If you are in a very good position, if he's in a very good position, I can give him. If he's not in a good position, I will not give it to him. Even before we come to the field, we have to discuss, because when we are in camp, we sleep together.
Now, sod has been cut for the construction of the Agogo Wembley Sports Complex. The ultra-modern facility, which is financed by Ghana Gas, will be constructed by Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited. There is more in the following report.
The Agogo Wembley Sports Complex, which will be ready in 6 months' time, will boast of football pitch, spectator stand, floodlights and fencing. This is the 36th project of Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited, experts in artificial turfs. The sod cutting ceremony was graced by Agogomahini Nana Kwame Akuokusapon and Agogomahima Nana Afrakuma Sewa Kusi Obuadum, Chief Executive Officer of the Ashanti North Municipal Assembly, Honorable Otiboatin, underscored the importance importance of the project.
I hope this one will be a reality and it will come to pass, and it will be a very good project to unearth the potentials and all the talents in the district, so that we can also create wonderful players and very talented projects like Safo Jamfield and Co. who are here. And this time I can assure you that we are going to get a football academy in Ashanti so that we can train the youth right from day 10 to create very good environment for them in the near future.
The Agogo Wembley Sports Complex is being financed by Ghana Gas. Ernest Owusu-Bempah is Communications Director of the company.
Of the Ghana Gas CEO and the management team, we thank everybody, especially the chiefs and people of Ashanti Achim, Nana Kwakusapon, Nana Frakuma Kusi Obuadum, and the entire Agogo Traditional Council for also their support, and the MC and the town folks as well. So we thank them, and I think that this project is going to help unearth a lot of talents for Ashanti Achim, and we hope that we're going to maintain it and make it one of the best facilities that will give Ghana great sports athletes who is going to help to help Ghana go forward.
The long-time dream of Wembley Sports is to construct a state-of-the-art astroturf in every constituency in the country.
And you'll definitely be seeing a lot more of this as we count down to the kickoff for Euro 2020. You can read more at myjoyonline.com/sports. My name is Hans Mensah. Many thanks for your time.
All right, and that'll be it for the bulletin. I'm Israelite. Thank you very much for watching. You have a good night.